purpose of this exercise is to prepare an income statement, retained earnings statement, and balance sheet for Barfield Company, and to calculate a liquidity measure and a solvency measure.
Hello, Nicole.
To begin,
Thank you so
we're given
much.
information which will be used to prepare the financial statements. The first financial statement.
How are you doing? How have you
is
been
the
doing?
income statement. And the first section of the income statement is the revenue section. And so we should look at this list
For the
and determine
year
what
end.
types of revenues Barfield Corporation have.
Year in July. For the year in July 31st. Yeah. Good to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming back.
We see two types, service revenue and rent revenue. So,
service revenue. Service rent revenue. Do you have school today? Oh, it's a Saturday, sorry. Service 7,967. Total revenue. Net income, I think.
in moving to the income statement,
Sorry, I'm trying to do my
we'll enter the
assignment.
heading for revenues.
Revenues.
This revenue is 67,145. Total revenues are 78.
It's not net income yet, it's total revenue. Total revenues. 679 plus 9800 77700. Next one is expenses, I guess.
1,020. The next category is expenses. Reviewing the list for Barfield Corporation, we see three types of expenses: salaries expense, supplies expense, and depreciation expense.
Salary and wages, expenses, supply expenses, and depreciation. Okay. Expenses. Let's see if that is in order.
The first expense that we will enter will be salaries and wages expense. The amount of salaries and wages. The next type of the amount of supplies expense is 17,245. The final expense we have, patient expense, is 5,948.
Total expenses. Got that. salaries, salaries, go Samsung, Samsung. Supplies, expenses, open gallery. Depreciation, open gallery. Total expenses, let me see. Go Samsung, Name Hope, go Samsung, go Samsung. Take up so bad, Jet Loi, Samsung, dollar. Total expenses, total revenue and expenses. Retained earnings, net loss income.
Total expenses are $82,468. We subtract expenses from revenues and determine that the company has a net loss.
Net loss. Jetman, Jet Loi, Jetman, Jetpan, Jet Loi, log. So Batman, Jet Loi, Samsung. Tenner. Jet. Soon. Oh wait, log. Soon. Log by song bad. Jet soon. Target say bad. Go jet soon. Okay. Into negative amount using either negative sign preceding the number. Holy cow. Revenue. Should have known that. What the heck? Oh. How it goes. Soon. Okay, name hope. Go soon. Okay, happen. Go right. Take a bad song. Quay. Batman song. Name Loi. Look. Jet. Soon. Target. Sieben. Loi. Net loss. Sieben. No. Loi. Bowman ลบมันต้องบวกเพราะว่าอันนั้นมันลบมาแล้ว
And determine that the company has a net loss of and determine 68. Total expenses are $82,468. We subtract expenses from revenues and determine that the company has a net loss of
Okay.
4,448.
ติดลบลบในบวกกันเท่า82,000 7,000 ลบ 82,000 ลบ 4,400 โอเคถึงแล้ว Retain earnings for the year. Retain earnings มันน่าจะแตกต่างกันไปบุจีจักเทีย
The next part of this exercise requires that we prepare a retained earnings statement.
For the year ended July 31st. For the year ended July 31st. For the year ended July 31st. Retain earning ปกติเขาจะเอาอะไรมันอีกเท่านึงเฮ็ดซุมื้อยังบ่เจออีกเท่า
Beginning retained earnings as of August 1st, 2013. And from
Retain
our
earnings. Okay. Retain earnings. ถ้ามันบ่แน่มันเริ่มจากวันที่1เดือน8มันบ่แม่นมันหมดเดือน7มันเริ่มวันที่1เดือน8มันแม่นบ่แน่
information
สั
above,
บสน
we see that that is 35,295.
Beginning of the year. Retain earnings. August 1st or ended July 31st. August 1st. นี่เป็น at retain earnings beginning of the year. 35,400. Retain earnings. มันบ่แม่นงงไหม Ending August 31st.
Then we add net income, or in this case, subtract a net loss.
Subtract net loss. ลบ 4,400 net loss อันนี้เป็นบ่แม่นอันนี้เป็น net loss. Retain earning 5,400. Retained earnings 35,400. Net loss ตกอยู่ลบ 4,400. Total
amount of the loss that we subtract is 4,448. In addition, we subtract out dividends.
มี dividend อีกอันนี้บทได้ติดลบ dividends เท่าไหร่วะ dividends 4,000ทีนี้มาบวกกันมาบวกกัน
Dividends were $4,000. And finally,
8,448 7,000ไม่เอาวะมันก็เหลือ 8,000 มันลบกันนะ35,295ลบ 4,448 ลบ 4,000 เท่ากับ 20,000 มองมาไว้มองบ่แม่นมันเฉพาะอันนี้เฮียเอาบวกที่ลบมาบวกกันเรียกเป็นจำนวนที่ลบมาบวกกันอันนี้เป็น 4,400 เป็น 8,400 บวก 4,000 8,400 ทีนี้อันนี้เป็น total
we determine the end.
Less dividends, less. Dividends. Retained earnings July 31st. July 31st. Retained July 31st. อันนี้เอาบวกกันแล้วบวกกันบวก 35,400 เท่ากับ 4 8,400
opening balance and retained earnings, which was 26,847.
Bought 8,448 ขอลบว่าอะไรวะเนี่ยรายรับลบกับรายจ่าย3,295 สรุปอันนี้คือลบ3540ลบ8400เท่ากับ27 123 Return earnings less net loss 4,400มาจากไหนวะอันนี้มาจาก income statement บางบอลก็บอกให้ใส่เครื่องหมายลบบางบอลก็บอกบ่ใส่มันเป็นได้ น่าจะยังอีกยาว list current assets in order of liquidity balance sheet year ended July 31st okay asset current assets current assets cash 3,600มันไปมันมาถ่ายห้องไปกันแล้ว Sweet tooth gone ต้องเบิ่งวิดีโออีกแล้ว
The next part of this problem requires preparation of a classified balance sheet. The first section of the classified balance sheet is the asset section, and the first area of the asset section is current assets.
Current asset. Okay.
In looking at the information for Barfield Corporation, we see that Barfield Corporation has two items that would be classified as current: accounts receivable and cash.
Account receivable.
Among the current assets, we would list cash first, since it is most liquid. The amount of Barfield's cash was $30,495.
Account receivable. Do not burn down the account receivable. Okay, that's it. Okay. Hello, man. How are
The next
you?
most liquid current asset would be accounts receivable. The amount of Barfield's accounts receivable was $11,320.
Thank you for jumping in.
If we add together the cash and the accounts receivable, Barfield's total current assets were $41,200.
Total current asset. $30,600 plus 10,980. Bad. See, okay. And then long-term current asset or investment.
The next section of the classified balance sheet is property, plant, and equipment.
Property, plant, and equipment. And there's
in reviewing the information for Barfield Corporation, we see two items that would be listed under property, plants, and equipment. Equipment and accumulated depreciation equipment.
Equipment is equipment. So it's something is weird again now. Should be less if it's depreciation expenses. Accumulated depreciation equipment, no, that is accumulated. For equipment expenses is something else. Accumulated depreciation. Building equipment. The one is 1,900. It's accumulated.
The amount of equipment would be $19,000.
Hello, Samantha. I think I'm familiar with your name. Maybe I'm right. Hello, anyway.
15.
Equipment and
then we subtract out accumulated depreciation equipment. The amount of accumulated depreciation equipment was $7,948.
Subtract.
Which gives us a net book value of $11,967.
11,000. 2,300 subtract 799 equal 12,400. Okay.
The company's total assets would be $53,782.
Total asset. Okay, that's asset. Total asset and current asset and total asset. Total asset is total current asset. Just total asset. Just all of the asset. 41,000. 580 plus 12,400. 42,089,3,5. It's impossible. It should be more than that. 580 plus 400. Yeah. 580.
Now we move on to liabilities and stockholders' equity.
Liability and
The first
stockholder
category under
equity.
liabilities and stockholders' equity is current liabilities. In reviewing Barfield's information, we see two items that we listed under current liabilities. Those are salaries and wages payable and accounts payable. Again, a current liability is any amount that's expected to be paid during the next. We see two items that we listed under current liabilities. Those are salaries and wages payable.
Current liabilities. Two of them. Account payables. Notes payable. Where's account payable? Accounts payable. Salaries payable.
And accounts payable.
Okay.
Again, a current liability is any amount that's expected to be paid during the next 12 months. Under current liabilities, we'll first list accounts payable. The amount of accounts payable was $4,100. We then list salaries and wages payable. Salaries and wages payable was $3,495.
Accounts payable 4,100. Salaries and wages payable 3,880. 3.880. Total current liabilities. Total liabilities. Should be total current liabilities. Total current liabilities. Sounds like somebody's somebody else outside, I think. Okay, go Batson. What is next? Liabilities and stock.
Was
Stockholders equity.
$7,595. Next, we list long-term liabilities.
Long-term liabilities. Okay.
In reviewing Barfield's information, we only see one item that would be listed as a long-term liability. That would be the notes payable, which are due in 2017. Since that is beyond the 12-month window after the current year, that would be treated as a long-term liability.
Notes payable, where is it? Notes payable due in 2030, 3,000.
Under long-term liabilities, we list the notes payable. The amount of the notes payable is $3,340. Total liabilities are $10,935.
That's total liabilities. Total current liabilities, long-term liabilities, and then it's total liabilities.
final category in the balance sheet is stockholders' equity.
Is
The first item we list under stockholders' equity is common stock.
stockholder equities.
The amount of common stock is $16,000. After
Common stock. Common stock is 16,000. Rent revenue, no, that is not. Retained earnings, no. Let me see.
common stock, we add retained earnings.
Retained earnings.
To determine the ending balance and retained earnings, we look at the ending balance in our retained earnings statement.
Retained earnings. The retained earnings statement. So Japan. Total equity,
which was 26,847. So we entered 26,847 as the balance in our balance sheet for retained earnings. Then we enter total stockholders' equity, which is the sum of the common stock and the retained earnings.
Total stockholders equity. And open book, so tag up CSAM. It's also turning Japan book and open tag up Siemens Sampan. Okay. And then total liabilities and stakeholders equity. Total liabilities and stakeholders equity.
So 42,847. Finally, we take the total of total liabilities and stockholders' equity, which is 53,782.